I did make it to Hexagon on my first attempt here, though. I'm gonna shut up. This is hard. Well, it will be hard. Yeah. Yeah, there it is. Oh man, I'm really good at wincing when I play this. Which is really bad because the near misses get me the worst. Like, it's one thing to see my death just a millisecond before it hits me, and to wince as the screen flashes white and Gen Frank tells me game over. But it's another thing to just very narrowly bypass an obstacle and wince in my seat as I do it, because God, what happens next? I'm like, my reflexes are behind as that happens. I let myself become frazzled even just for a moment, and then I'm lost. And that's the thing. That's the thing about playing Super Hexagon. So much of it is about trusting your peripheral vision and your subconscious, that if you begin to feel overwhelmed by the patterns that are coming towards you, even just for a moment, the effect has kind of a slope to it. It accumulates gradually, and you kind of fall more and more behind mentally. This game, I mean, it looks like it's being played with my hands. It looks like I'm playing this with my left and right index fingers on my shoulder bumpers on my 360 controller, but it's not. It's played in my mind, and it's played in my subconscious more than anywhere else. And that's what makes it feel so damn good. The experience is really euphoric. I can feel it changing the structure of my brain. It's like the way I never got into Tetris, but I used to read articles about people dreaming in Tetris, or just the way they would see the world differently. And there have been very few games that have affected me in that way. I would say Braid is one of them. I remember the stage, I believe World 4 is what it is, that every time you move in a certain direction, time moves forward or back according to whether you're moving left or right on the 2D field. And that affected the way I perceived the world outside a little bit. Not for very long and not terribly dramatically, but it did. It had an effect. Similarly, even something like, I don't know, a Metal Gear game. Playing Metal Gear Solid 3 changed the way I would view, like, the contents of a street. Like, oh, look at that telephone pole, I can hide behind that. Just, it's not a conscious thought, because that would be very, very silly, and I would not be saying it out loud right now if I had those kinds of conscious thoughts. But the way you look at things changes because of the interactive experience, the way you've trained yourself. So a lot of people who have become very good at games like Tetris and other games, especially, I guess I should say puzzle arcade games, because it's all about the time crunch. Well, not necessarily. I mean, I suppose that people who spend every waking moment studying chess, despite having no time constraints there, see things differently because of that. But, anyway, what I'm trying to say is that there's not a lot in video games that really does that for me. The kind of thing that I generally look for in a video game is more embodied by experiences, like, I mean, like the classic examples are things like Eco and Shadow of the Colossus, and now, thankfully, Journey. That kind of stuff. Like, that's like my primary interest in video games. I am not one to often go in for an arcade experience or a seriously skill-based experience. I've played a couple of bullet hell games. My favorite is Ikaruga, but I've never really fallen in love with that genre. It never brought the zen out of me quite like this does. Oh God, did you hear what the music just did there? It's a climax, the music climax, and that sometimes really just fucks me up because I stop trying because I feel like I'm done. Ah, damn it. Which is really it's really kind of funny. Yeah, I just love this game. And you know, one of the things I love about this game so much is that, I mean, I really like Jen Frank's announcer role. I mean, it's so arbitrary that she announces your longevity as you just survive for longer periods of time in terms of geometric shapes. It's ridiculous. There's no reason for it whatsoever. She could just as easily say 10 seconds, 30 seconds, 45 seconds. Like, there's no... Of course, I sound exactly like a terse girl as I speak like that. But there's no need for it whatsoever. But it's so cool. I just think it's so cool. It's like it's some kind of a punk celebration of geometry. It like, that makes no goddamn sense, but that's what it feels like. You play this game long enough and you feel like her words as she just announces the names of these shapes are like, God, shapes are cool, man. I don't know. It's fucking dumb, but it's one of those things that's occurring on a subconscious level. It's part of the tone of the game, if that makes any sense. It's majestic. It's reveling in something. Just it's reveling in these abstract shapes, and for her to say those words is a significant part of that experience, I feel. Jesus, what's happening?